Okay, this is Orlando Wilson. What I want to talk about in this video is something which is relevant to the close protection business, well, all business, but especially the close protection business, because there's a lot of people that's in the close protection business that believe a lot of the myths about the close protection business, have a lot of misconceptions, shall we say. What I want to talk about is boundaries and why you need to have boundaries with the clients. I've got a couple of videos out there titled, I think it, Would You Die for Your Client, etc., etc., specifically aimed at the close protection business. There's a lot of people out there saying, and I've had it over the years, the role of a bodyguard, a close protection person, is to die for the client, to take a bullet for the client, etc. And to me, that's complete and utter bullshit. The close protection business is a risk management business. We're there to minimize the risk to the clients and minimize the risk to ourselves. Your personal security always comes before the client's security. Why? Because if you can't look after yourself, you can't look after other people. And if you're dead, who's going to protect the client? And in general, unless you have a mental illness, you particularly don't want to be dead or harmed. This is where the close protection business is a business. The clients are paying you to provide them with the service. That's it. No money, no service. We're not going to provide a service for free. And I remember I put something up about this a long time ago, and some guy, some idiot popped up saying, oh, but my clients are my family and this and that. You know what? Another CP guy that's executive protection specialist that's working out there that's some reason in love with his client. He doesn't realize that to most clients, to most people with money, you're just domestic staff. You're a security guard. They don't care if you call yourself executive protection specialist, bodyguard, or what the fuck ever. You're just staff. And if you're not there, they'll hire somebody else. You're not their friends. It's business. They're paying you for a service, and you're providing the service. That's it. Yes, you can get along with clients. I get along with my clients. But again, they understand. I'm respectful to them. They're respectful for me. I provide them with a service. They pay me. They don't pay me. They don't get the service. They want me to do something for them. It costs money because it's a business. Are they my friends? To some extent, but they're professional friends. I'm friendly with them because we're providing professional services. I respect them. They respect me. They pay me for what I do for them. And if I wanted their services for whatever lines of work they're in, I'd be paying them for those services. It's business. So this is where there needs to be clearly defined boundaries between you and your client. And there needs to be mutual respect. I've had it. I remember one job in particular where I found out one of my guys one day was working one location, and he said to him, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just sweeping the floor. And I was like, what? What are you doing? What are you sweeping? Why are you cleaning up? Oh, I got nothing else to do, whatever. I chewed him out over that. I said, you don't do that because you start doing favors or things that's not outside of the contract, especially being a flunky. And again, that's going to become expected. And this is where I've seen jobs screwed up over the years because the CP guys, usually on residential, become too friendly with the client. They start doing favors. And those favors, such as moving luggage, cleaning up, doing this, then become expected parts of the contract. Because you get people turn up after the flunkies and the client asks them to do something. No, we don't do that. It's not in the job description. Now, all of a sudden, the client's offended because in the past, the flunkies had been doing that type of work for the client, even though it's outside of what the contract states. You need to have clearly defined protocols with the client, clearly defined job descriptions, and they need to be stuck to. There needs to be boundaries. If not, people will take advantage. And if it's not directly the client that's taking advantage, then it will be their staff that's taking advantage. And this is one of the issues I've had over the years. I'm a couple of clients I've dealt with, very good people, but I've had issues with their staff, their money people, their fixers, because they expect the CP guys and girls to do things that's not involved in the contract. So this is where you need boundaries. Now, back down to trusting clients. Would you trust clients? Should you trust clients? No, they're a client. And I've had it over the years where clients are not going to tell you the truth of what they're doing, where they're going for various reasons. we've had it in one location. I remember where one client didn't tell us about a business meeting they were having, and ended up taking our guys that were providing protective surveillance into a very shady area because they had a meeting with somebody, and the people they were meeting, the location they were meeting at, everything was questionable. Even though we asked them for an itinerary before they turned up at this location, it was in Latin America, everything went bad. And after that, that client got chewed out. They paid. Again, they paid in advance. We said, thank you very much, goodbye. Why? Because that client had, I wouldn't say put us at risk, had done something that could have got themselves into a lot of trouble. And if they expected us to protect them in that environment, in that location, then it could have caused us a lot of problems. This is where there needs to be mutual trust, mutual respect. If the clients are doing things that are not agreed on, then it can cause problems for everybody. I remember another reason for clients not telling you the whole truth is billing. I remember years ago, we was dealing with one investigation, and this person approached me that in Eastern Europe, they had an issue. They wanted just a basic due diligence on somebody, etc. Somebody was investing, again, Latin American guy was investing in Eastern Europe. People wanted to know what he was up to, etc., etc., etc. His business partners, family, etc. These people, I met the client. It's very professional, nice office in Miami, this and that, whatever. Very professional people. I met them. They gave me the documents. They gave me the backgrounds, etc. So I passed this on to my people that were going to be doing the investigation in Eastern Europe. And okay, let's start. Let's look at this guy. What the client in Miami forgot to tell me, and they knew this at the time, was the person they were looking into had connections to narcos, or he was on the fringes of that world. We started looking into this guy in Eastern Europe, and all of a sudden, my main contacts couldn't get hold of the people on the ground that was doing the investigation. And the client in Miami was like, okay, where's the info? Where's the info? Where's the info? And when I can't reach my people, they're like, we can't get hold of these guys. The people on the ground doing the investigation or sniffing. After how many days the people doing the sniffing, the people on the ground got back to us and said, why the fuck didn't you tell us this guy had narco connections? Because we didn't know, the client didn't tell us. Turns out when my people were doing the sniffing around, after a little while, after a few days, they got a knock on the door from their security forces, even though they were security forces, saying, why are you looking into this guy? Because we're looking into this guy. So there was an issue. A conflict of interest issue. When I went back to the clients in Miami and said, look, why didn't you tell us about this? Oh, they come back, no, he's not, that's rubbish, etc., etc., etc. Okay, cool, but this is what we found out. Again, he's been looked at because he's on the fringes. I can't remember exactly. He's on the fringes of the narco world, etc. His legitimate business is not that legitimate. He's trying to dabble in other things. You know what? The clients dismissed it, etc., etc. They paid the bill. Thank you very much. Goodbye. You know what? A couple of weeks later, the clients come back to me and said, well, you know what you said about this guy? Yeah. Well, we heard something about this a while back, and you know what? We didn't really believe it, but yeah, people spoke about it and they said he was trying to do this and do that. You know what? They knew what was going on. They asked me can we get further information, etc., etc., and we were like, no. Why? Because they didn't tell us the whole truth the first time. They know if they told us the truth the first time, then our prices would have been a lot higher. A regular due diligence background check on somebody is one thing. A background check on somebody that's possibly involved, or there's indications involved in international organized crime, is another thing. So it was like, thank you very much, no. And if we said yes, I guarantee those clients would not have paid the bill, because the bill would have been a hell of a lot higher than the first bill. This is where that client intentionally didn't tell us everything they knew, because they knew if they told us everything they knew, the price would have been higher. So that's just one reason. I've got multiple stories, and most probably pop up in other videos, of reasons why I don't trust clients. Anyway, in the meantime, always remember, if you're in the close protection business, investigation business, there needs to be boundaries between you and the clients. And again, just because somebody's your client, it doesn't mean they're your friend. It's a contract. It's a business agreement. And you need to ensure, especially where the investigations world is concerned, that the clients are telling you the truth and you're not putting yourself into positions where you can be compromised, where you can have problems because the client has lied to you. Yeah. So this is where I'm always wary. Anyway, in the meantime, follow me along on social media. We've got a lot more of these videos up. We're on the main social media platforms. I prefer LinkedIn these days. I also have an array of books up on Amazon that talk about various aspects of the close protection, investigations, crime fiction, etc., etc., etc. So check out my books, check out the blog, and follow me along on social media. You got any relevant questions, feel free to reach out. And also remember, we provide security, close protection, and investigation services. Be good, stay safe, and try to stay out of trouble.